7:45 on the dot. Health experts say that intermittent fasting could pose a serious health risk. It's become a trendy way to lose weight in recent years, but a new study recently presented says that restricting eating to only a short time of the day increases the risk of cardiovascular death. Dr. Griggs shows us to break down the study and also some questions raised about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
So define intermittent fasting.
So intermittent fasting is restricting your eating window, typically in a 24-hour window, restricting it to about 8 hours a day, and it varies with that hour. With fasting, for equivalent with only 16.
I want to get back to calories in just a minute, but part of the success of this could be, let's say if you did 12 hours a day, or somebody who says, I will not eat after 6 o'clock, if you're restricted, that restriction calories.
Yeah,
in a way.
we're in a eat when you're eating society right now. You can eat all the time. So it's calorie restriction, which is a large part of this.
There has been some research, though, I guess in mice, that suggested there could be advantages.
So there are several mice studies that show that restricting the calorie window to 8 hours and fasting for a certain period of time increases their lifespan. And they were long, the studies were typically long, months to years. The problem is that there aren't that many in humans. But it has been shown its advantages in mice, and anecdotally, we know it can work for some people.
And well, therein lies the rub. There was a study out of China, 139 people, I think is all it was, and the finding was, hey, this could be an increased risk of heart disease.
Yeah, the problem is it wasn't a very large study. It was not published for peer review. We remember all that. And we don't know some of the details of the study. The people that died for eating in that 8-hour window. We don't know if they had cardiovascular disease. Don't know if they worked the night shift. We don't know if they smoked or drank alcohol. So again, it's kind of the cart before the horse and getting the word out there.
So if you're an overnight trucker, for example, there could, not that that's necessarily bad for your health, but there would be things about it that you have to manage.
Well, the thing is, third shift workers like ER workers, truckers, or people in the emergency services typically can have an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and death and other things, naturally, independent of eating. So
the question, the basic question is intermittent fasting good for us?
So that's a question that's been around since 1915. There as many studies saying yes, as many studies as there are saying no. The big thing is though, you don't want to focus on the window. A lot of people will fast for 16 hours and then camp out at the ice cream store for that. It's a quality of calories and the amount of calories that are restricted, combined with exercise that lead to healthy weight loss.
Well, and is that really to something restricting your diet during at least a portion of the day, maybe not 8 hours, might be good depending upon how much you stick to that. Is enough attention for all these fads really paid to the basic science of calories in, calories expended?
Well, calories in, calories expended, basal metabolic rate, hormones, ghrelin and leptin, the circadian rhythm, all those things need to be taken into consideration, which is why it's always helpful to talk to your doctor about weight loss and exercise programs.
I knew you were going to do that. Dr. Eric Griggs, thanks as always. All right, the time now is 7:48. Zach Pradella, there's some rain offshore.
Yeah, we're watching these storms. They're getting more intense off the Texas coastline. Notice that lightning straight counter. When I first came in earlier this morning, which was really early this morning, there was 20. Now there's over 300. So we're getting some intensity to this activity that's off the coast. But again, today's weather, most of the bad stuff, is going to stay off the coast.
Yeah. Okay, that's a better setting.
You take the work to the street. You take the work to the people while the people are doing what they're doing, but you have fun with the people. The people don't want to. How many people do just randomly pop up at your job? General public's just not going to pop up at your job and come to hang out. But if you go to the general public with your work, if you go to the general public with your work, you're liable to get what it is accomplished that you want to get accomplished with. I can't remember the last time. Say, bro, you hanging out at your job? I can't wait. I'm gonna hang out. It doesn't work like that. You gotta bring it to the people. Instead of building your audience, you become a part of the audience, and while you're there, you do your work. Does that make sense? That's the fun of it, right?
That's the only way it's gonna work.
When was the last time you saw a line outside of a doctor's office waiting to get a physical? I can't wait. What are you doing? I'm getting my physicals. Yeah.
That'd be an interesting challenge. How can we do
velvet
that?
rope. This is the VIP line. They're coming to get blood work. You never see it.
Challenge though.
Yeah, think about it. Even the best doctor in the world, no appointments. Look, happy hour. FBO, 2 exams for one, two tubes for one. We'll do a metabolic panel and your hematocrit. Let's go. CBC, let's go. Sign up.
You know, we have to make it attractive. One of my students actually, I was talking to them about, well, at that Black Health Summit, I asked, what does ideal healthcare look like to you during the Black Men's Health Panel? And my student didn't get a chance to answer, but at dinner after, he told me that ideal healthcare would look like to him if when people went into the healthcare system, they came out at peak health. Yeah. That would make it more attractive. Right now, people just come out alive.
Well, and that's the ideal healthcare system. So here's the other thing, though, and that's why, my grandfather was an optometrist, and he used to tell people when they're picking their glasses, if you look good, you feel good. You have to meet people at their most basic perceptions of themselves. The first thing it is, how do you feel? Most people are like, no, I want to look good. How you want to feel? I want to feel good too, but I want to look good. So you tell people the benefits and you work towards their goal and you integrate your goals with theirs first, you can get a lot accomplished. It's just tough. We go away to learn big words and a lot of numbers and a lot of math and a lot of science. When we come out unleashed on the people, the community that sent us there with all these big words, a lot of math, a lot of science, that's scary. People don't want to go to the doctor because they're scared to go hear some bad news. So if you want to be effective, you have to let them see you in other contexts, in other settings, and happy say, oh, hey, that's Dr. Kwame. What's going on, man? You know you shouldn't be, yeah, I know, doc, but I'll be better. If people identify you as a peer, they're more likely to trust you, they're more likely to listen to you. And then you have to empower them. You got to give them a tool to help themselves, to help you help them, which is the whole point of all the wearable technology. But we have to take time to explain it. Like it's a lot of work, but you got to start from the ground up. In order to get us from age 5 to age 26, from kindergarten all the way through med school residency training, everything we learn, we start with the basics. They teach us how to say the alphabet. They teach us to count to 10. It's the same concept with health. Like, give people the basics. There's a school of thought, and there's a group of folks that think you're dumbing it down. Who are you dumbing it down for? Are you saying your patients are dumb? Is it dumbing down or is it breaking it down? There's 2 different things. And if you can't break it down, do you really know it or did you just memorize it? So it's servant leadership, and you have to humble yourself to the people you're serving by speaking in a manner, without being insulting. You let them level set how deep they want to go in this one interaction, and then build on it. Because you build a dialogue each time you do it. And you can't, like I'm talking too much now, you can't talk to somebody too long. Give them a little bit. Wherever we can park. Down there?
I'm familiar parking down there. You only got to do it once though, Doc. You got to educate them once, and then it becomes part of the culture.
Educate them once, and then you give them something. Now that we have the technology, we give them something. We have monitor your blood sugar. Come out with the remote patient monitor your sleep, monitor your blood pressure, monitor your heart rate. And then let's talk about what that means. And then compare. You have to jump in. I'm not diabetic, but I wear a CGM, the glucose monitor, because I want to teach people about it. And I'm not diabetic, but I'm telling them, let people know how important it is. You model the behavior, and then you talk. What happened, man? I messed up. What happened? I ate 4 pieces of cake last night. I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Am I going to burn that off today? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't work like that. Well, how does it work? And you educate them, and then you challenge them to go educate somewhere else. Every one person that you educate is 10 people you don't have to interface with because you gave it to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.